Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. Sanglo Shila Prabhupada. I hope you all are well. Welcome you all to His Holy Chandramani Maharaja's daily call. Today's verse is Shrimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 6th chapter, and verse number 42. And I'm sorry that Maharaj is not being able to present today to give his association, but we will try and understand this verse as far as our intelligence allows us, and whatever we have learned from Maharaj and from Srila Prabhupada's teaching. So I'll try and share the verse. Just give me a second. So first we'll do the Mangala challenge. Om Agyanam Timirandasya Gyanam Janashalakaya Chakshururmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. The verse as follows. Adhyavatara Purusha Parasya Kala Swabhava Satsannanaksha Dravyam Vikaro Gunindriyani Virata Swarata Sthasno Charishnu Bhushma. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kanadakshay Vishnu is the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord, and he is the master of eternal time, space, cause and effect, mind, the elements, the material ego, the modes of nature, the senses, the universal form of the Lord, Garbhadakshay Vishnu, and the sum total of all living beings, both moving and non-moving. Purport. That the material creation is not permanent has not discussed many times herein before, has been discussed many times herein before. The material creation is but a temporary exhibition of the material energy of the Almighty God. This material manifestation is necessary to give a chance to the conditioned souls who are unwilling to associate with the Lord in the relationship of loving transcendental service. Such unwilling conditioned souls who are not allowed to enter into the liberated life of spiritual existence because at heart they are not willing to serve. Instead, they want to enjoy themselves as imitation gods. The living entities are constitutionally eternal servitors of the Lord, but some of them, because of misusing their independence, do not wish to serve. Therefore, they are allowed to enjoy the material nature, which is called Maya or illusion. It is called illusion because the living beings under the clutches of Maya are not factually enjoyers, although they think that they are. Being illusioned by Maya, such illusion living entities are given a chance to at intervals to rectify their perverted mentality of becoming false masters of the material nature, and they are imparted lessons from the Vedas about the internal relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Vedesche sarvair aham eva vedya. So the temporary creation of the material manifestation is an exhibition of the material energy of the Lord. And to manage the whole show, the Supreme Lord incarnates himself as the Karnadakshay Vishnu, just as a magistrate is deputed by the government to manage affairs temporarily. This Karnadakshay Vishnu causes the manifestation of material creation by looking over his material energy, Sa Akisata. In the first volume of this book, we have already discussed to some extent the explanation of the verse Jagare Purusham Prupam. The duration of the illusory play of material creation is called a kalpa. And we have already discussed the creation taking place in kalpa after kalpa by his incarnation and the activities of his potencies. The complete ingredients of creation, namely time, space, cause, result, mind, and the gross and subtle elements, and their interactional modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, and then the senses and their reservoir source, the gigantic universal form as the second incarnation, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and all living beings, both moving and standing, which come out of the second incarnation, all become manifested. Ultimately, all these creative elements and the creation itself are but manifestations of the Supreme Lord's potencies. Nothing is independent of the control of the Supreme Being. This first incarnation is the material creation, namely Karnadakshai Vishnu, is the plenary part of the original personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, described in the Brahma Samhita 548 as follows. Yayashika Nishvita Kalam Athalambya Jivanti Loma Vilaja Jagat Anandanatha Vishnur Maharsa Yayasya Kala Vishesho Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. All the innumerable universes are maintained only during the breathing period of Mahavishnu or Karnadakshaya Vishnu, who is only a plenary part of Govinda, the original personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Jai. Thank you so much. So beautiful, purport by Srila Prabhupada. So, what we'll try to understand is first what is happening in this chapter. So, in the fifth chapter, actually, what has happened that Narad Muni had asked 3 questions to Brahmaji. Those 3 questions were the nature of the universe. He wanted to know what is the nature of the universe, how it got created, and the purpose of its creation, purpose of the existence. So these 3 questions about the universes, the nature, the creation, and the purpose. These 3 questions were asked by Narad Muni. So in this particular section in Purusha Shukta, explained when Brahmaji is explaining the Virat Purusha of the Lord. So Virat Purusha is in how this cosmic manifestation is coming out as the part of the Lord's body. So Brahmaji explains that how is how's so Virat Purusha's hands. What are the Virat Purusha's hands? So they are demigods. Then his legs, his thighs, his feet. And so he explains that the feet are, under the feet there the surrender soul sleeves, and then back of the Lord is the resting place for the irreligion. His eyes, his skin, his mouth, his head, his chest, everything is being explained by Brahmaji to Narad Muni, that how he looks and what it contains. So in this particular verse, Brahmaji is explaining the Karnadakshaya Vishnu. So we know that there are 3 Purusha avatars, Karnadakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. So this is actually what Brahmaji is saying, that this is the first incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So this is the Narayan, the Vishnu, Mahavishnu. It has come, Karnadakshaya Vishnu is Mahavishnu, and that's how the other Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and Shirodakshaya Vishnu follows after him. So to make it clearly understand, I prepared this little bit diagram for you too, because it will be better for you to see it. Can you see that this diagram? If you can just one of them can tell me that if you can see this.
Yes, we can, Satyabhama.
Thanks, Sukahava. So as Krishna, and please take it as I've taken it from I've understood from one of the website of which is ISKCON website, and I've tried to make my own copy from this understanding, keeping all the complexities out of it, and I try to keep it as simple as possible. So as we understand, the Krishna resides in Golok Vrindavan, and the two prakash, two forms or partial forms comes out from Krishna. One is Krishna's, or we shouldn't say partial, but it Krishna's complete, so forms. So one is Swam Prakash and one is Vaibhav Prakash. So Swam Prakash is, they are identical. So as we see the in the Ras dance, when Krishna danced with the gopis of Raja, he's looking exactly same in all of them. So they all seeing that Krishna is with them. He is not changing his look, his his appearance. And same is said that in Dwarka as well, Krishna was in his same identical forms with all of his queens, 16,108 queens. So those are Swam Prakash of Krishna. However, there is Vaibhav Prakash. So Vaibhav Prakash is Balram. So what happens in the Balram's form is so as we can see, Krishna is a bluish blackish, but Balram is white. Then his height changes, his fit changes, his mood to serve Krishna changes. So he serves, Balram serves in different capacities to Krishna. So it's more of in the service mode. It comes. Balram is more in to provide loving services to the Lord. And then from Balram comes this Chaturvya. Chaturvya is Aniruddha, Vasudev, Shankarshan, and Pradyumna. And then from this four, Chaturvya comes Narayan. And so this is called first quadruple, and it is called second quadruple. So the first, it's said in the scriptures, but I don't have the reference, but I've heard this in one of the authorized, Vaishnava, senior Vaishnava, that from these three, these four incarnations, three more comes out. So basically, we have three incarnations of Aniruddha, three incarnations of Vasudeva, three from Sankarsana, and three from Pradyumna. And same happened with second quadruple as well. So we have 12 and 12, 24 forms of Krishna, of Vishnu comes from this four quadruple. And this forms include Lord Ram, Narsimha, Varaha. This type of incarnations comes from these four, eight quadruples. So as we can understand that how Krishna is expanding himself. So 24 comes on from this. However, if we are just stay on this diagram, from this four quadruple, Narayan comes from Narayan, four quadruples. Then comes this whole Karnadakshai Vishnu, Mahavishnu. So from this, you mainly said that from Mahashankarshana, Karnadakshai Vishnu comes. And then Karnadakshai Vishnu is, if we imagine that this Vishnu, Karana means it's ocean. In ocean, this Mahavishnu is lying, and from his body, millions, trillions of lots of more universes coming out. So if we have seen the front page of Srimad Bhagavatam, and in that we see that Mahavishnu, Karanadakshay Vishnu, is lying in the ocean, and from his body, millions of Vishnus are coming, millions of universes are coming out. And what is happening? He is expanding. Mahavishnu is expanding to Garbhadakshaya Vishnu. So in each of those universes resides the Garbhadakshaya Vishnu. And then in each universe, you have Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva. So as many universes we have, that many Lord Brahma and Shiva we have in each of those universes. And this is why, if you remember that when Brahma Vimohan Leela happens, and the Brahma who is managing the Earth planet comes to Krishna in Vrindavan, and he thinks that he is not Krishna, is some sort of devta or demigod, and then Krishna calls out of all the Brahmas. So many millions of Brahmas comes at that location, at that place, and then Brahma understand that he is not only one Brahma. There are millions of universes and the millions of Brahmas managing them. So in each of those universes, Garbhadakshai Vishnu resides in those oceans. So it's said that when Garbhadakshai Vishnu is residing in them, because of his sweat, he fills up that universe, half of that universe or one third of the universe, with his perspiration. So that's where he stays. And then comes from Garbhadakshai Vishnu, it comes Shirodakshai Vishnu. So what happens when Shirodakshai Vishnu is basically the Lord sitting in all of us, the Paramatma form of the Lord. So in all the living entities, what we see in the plants, in the animals, in human beings, all of us have Shirodakshai Vishnu, a Paramatma sitting in our heart. So now if we understood this, that how the Kandakshay Vishnu sits in the whole picture of Lord's incarnation. Uh, Now if we see that, first of all, if we come to the Shaktis, energies of the Lord. So Krishna is, Krishna's consort is Radharani, and Radharani is actually, the origin of all the goddess of fortunes, and all the Lakshmis comes from Radharani, and she is also consort of Narayan. Then if we see this Dasha avatar, so we see Manvantara avatars, Leela avatars, Yuga avatars, Satyavesha avatars, Shiva expansions, controlling deities, Vasus and 12 Adityas, they all comes from Narayan. They all are the Dashavtas from Narayan. Now, if there's one more thing to understand, in which one is the Vishnu Tattva? So this is all our Vishnu Tattva. This is all Vishnu Tattva. Shakti Tattva is Radharani and Lakshmi Jis, which are who are energies of the Lord. And then we have, sorry, there is a message. If you can just look at it. Oh, sorry. Shiva Tattva, we have is Lord Shiva is the Shiva Tattva, and this is important to understand that even Brahmaji comes as a Jiva Tattva. So Jiva Tattva is not eternal; they comes and goes. So whoever has the most pieties done, they takes the position of Brahma. And when the when the life of the Brahma finish for 100 years, they come back to this earth planet and they perform their and they start their life again. So this is why devotees are not interested in Lord Brahma or Shiva, the position of the even Brahma or demigods. So this is where understanding the position of the Karnadakshayi Vishnu, that how many incarnations are there of the Lord. So one more thing I wanted to actually explain is the origin of this, because Krishna actually explained the same thing. So this is where in 2642 Brahmaji is giving this knowledge to Narad Muni. But if we get in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna starts the Bhakti Yoga in chapter 7. So verse number 4, Krishna says, भूमिरापो नालो वायु खामामो बुधिर एवच अहंकारा इत्यामे बिनाह प्रकृतिर असद्धा. So Krishna says earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together, this 8 constitute my separated material energy. So Krishna is, and then, so in this chapter, actually, Krishna is starting the Bhakti Yoga. And first 6 chapter, Krishna has explained the Karma Yoga, little bit of Dhyan Yoga. 6th chapter was completely of Dhyan Yoga and Nishkam Karma Yoga. Krishna is, step by step taking Arjuna to this ride to explain him the Bhakti Yoga. And in beginning of this chapter, Krishna is explaining 3 important points. What is Prakriti? What is Jiva? And what is me? What is Ishwar? So in this particular verse, Krishna is explaining what is Prakriti, what is it concerns. So everything around us, what we see, is made up of all these 8 constitute 8 energies of the Lord. And then if we go to the next verse, Krishna explains what is Jiva. Besides this, O mighty armed Arjun, there is another superior energy of mine, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material nature, inferior nature. So when we read this, Krishna is explaining this is and we are the superior energy of the Lord. Superior in terms of what Krishna has explained to the Prakriti, but we are not the superior energy. We are marginal energy of the Lord. And what Krishna is saying in this one, this is actually explains the third question by Narad Muni that was asked, the purpose of existence, purpose of the creation. And this is why when we need to understand that Krishna created all these in the same way how a father creates a big house, build a big house for his son to enjoy, because he knows that his son want to enjoy the life. So, it's so many times we don't want to spend time with our parents. We want to stay away. We want to have a nuclear families and enjoy ourselves. We don't want to look after the family, look after our parents. So what does a rich father does? He says that, you don't want to look after me, you don't want to take care of me. I'll build this big house, you enjoy there. You can have all the fun what you want. uh, but this type of son, they don't get the blessing of the parents from the heart, from the parents to bless their children. But so in this, in same way, Krishna has created all this, universes, all these places for us to enjoy. But the purpose of this creation, the ultimate purpose, is for us to to gain some knowledge, to understand what is the purpose of the life. Why do we take human birth, and who is our supreme father. um, That is very important. So that is the purpose of the purpose of the all the creation is, so that we can come, live peacefully, live comfortably, and understand the purpose of us going back. So it's very important, and this is why, like, many a times, and when Krishna is saying exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature, and this is what we're doing actually. We as in this group, I won't go out that what others do, but what we as a devotees, we need to always think that how important this process is, and how fortunate we are to be in this process, because the amount of knowledge, the Vedas, the scriptures, what by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, what he is translated for all of us, we won't get it anywhere. So we should read, we should gain knowledge, and we should understand. We should try and make this the ultimate goal of our life, that that this is the only birth we have. As I always think that this moment will last long for 11th. What Srila Prabhupada has predicted is 10,000 years. And I was talking to one of my friend who is a very scholar. She finished her Bhakti Vedanta recently, and she was telling me that it's not only the Scon moment. There won't be any Vrindavan, there won't be any, there won't be Govardhan, there won't be Yamuna, there won't be any spiritual organization in 10,000 years. So imagine, if we waste this life, if we don't do it properly, if we don't follow this process properly, if we go back to maybe the not to the spiritual world, but to Swargalok, or somewhere where to the heavenly planets, where we because of our piety, we enjoy the life for many years. And imagine when we come back to this earth, or maybe any universe, I don't know where we will end after that. uh, and what if we don't, if we are not in the family of devotees, what if we come back because of our last memories with something attached, like Bharat Maharaj, if it attached to something non-relevant to Krishna consciousness? What if that happens, and then we land in some odd situations, where Kali Yuga is proceeding so fast, and we don't have the holy name, we don't have the remembrance of this moment, we don't know anything. So how peculiar is that situation would be, that that is very important for us to understand, that how important and urgent this position is. uh, uh, and I was hearing Radhanath Maharaj's class in preparation for this class, and he was saying that every moment for in bhakta's life is very, very important. What we think as sadhakas, we think that if we have done the bhakti 4 5 hours in a day, then 1 hour we can spend in doing something for our own satisfaction, something for our own enjoyment. And he was so nicely explaining that in that 1 hour, or even in a moment, Maya can take you far away. It can take you far away from bhakti, far away from Lord's devotees and Lord's holy name. So we shouldn't, as a practicing sadhana, we should always be very, very careful that we are always surrounded by the devotees. Our tongue is always chanting the holy name. We are only honoring the prasad, and we are always spending time in reading the scriptures. And that way we will always be protected. Even if sometime we are lost, Krishna will bring us back. So this is very important for us all to understand that Krishna has created this place so that we can connect with him. And this is not for our enjoyment. This is for Krishna's enjoyment, and for to connect back to us. And Srila Prabhupada very nicely explained that uh, uh, we need to use this place, human beings especially need to use this place as in only for the service of the Lord. Whatever facilities we have, we should use it only for the service of the Lord. As soon as we start to utilize or enjoy our own possessions, our own relations, our own, our mind, our body, anything, then it creates problems for us. So I wanted to actually, because in India, I think it's a Gaur Purnima today, and I wanted to little bit go back and think about how Mahaprabhu has actually come and helped us in this journey. So Krishna is so kind. Krishna left the planet, and then He must be thinking that I have not given what was most, most precious, most important, for them to come back. As Krishna gave the Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, so many leelas he performed for us to remember him. But what was the most precious was the brush prem, and Krishna did not give that. But Mahaprabhu came in the month of Falgun, and Purnima, Falguni Purnima, and he was born as a golden avatar, and he gave what was never given before by any of the avatars. So as you see, Krishna we definitely see as the supreme lord. He came, but he didn't give the brush prem, but he performed the leelas in the brush prem for Mahaprabhu to come and give that. So maybe I'm sure that when Krishna was here with Srimati Radhika, he definitely had that desire, and those internal three desires which Krishna wanted to test the love, taste the pleasure what Srimati Radhika explained, feels, and what is that in him himself that he wanted to understand, and this is why Lord came as Mahaprabhu. So we should think very, be very grateful, and we should think that how fortunate we are to be able to be here. And I was hearing Srila Prabhupada's class on Good Purnima yesterday, and I was Srila Prabhupada so nicely says that we should follow the footprints of Rupa Raghunatha, Rupa Goswami. What Rupa Goswami says, Rupa Raghunatha pade hoibe akuti, kabe hama bujahabo, shi yogala priti. So Rupa Goswami is saying, Narottam Das Thakur is saying, at the lotus feet of Rupa Raghunatha, that by only by your mercy, I can have the Radha Krishna's prem, Shri Yugala Priti. So we have to understand that we have to follow our spiritual master, we have to follow Srila Prabhupada's teachings, we have to follow the teachings of the previous acharyas, and we in the submissive mode. Srila Prabhupada again and again, stress on this point in the whole class, that we must have a very submissive mood. We should be very humble. Like Trinadapi, Sunichena Tarorapi Sahisune Namani Namandina Kirtanaya Sada Hari. So as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught us, we should always be in a very humble and submissive mood and surrender to our spiritual master. It's very important. And then it's also again, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Prayag and gives the teachings to Rupa Goswami, and then Rupa Goswami says, and in one of the verses in CC has been mentioned in 1953, Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvase Namaha. So this is the verse we also, we always say this pranam mantra of Mahaprabhu, which we says that at the time of offering bhoga. So what Rupa Goswami is saying, that he has come to give the love of Krishna Prem, and he is acting like Krishna's devotee, but he is Krishna himself. So Krishna, actually we have to understand that when Krishna says Sarva Dharma Parityaja Mamekam Sarasharanam Dhaja Aham Tam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshasyami Masucha. So what Krishna is asking? Krishna is asking us to surrender. Krishna is asking something. So Krishna is saying that you must do that. And many points, in Bhagavad Gita, if we read, if we understand that Krishna is asking, you must control your senses. You must detach. You must do Niskam Karma Yoga. You must do your karma, yeah, your prescribed duties, but you must not attach. You should not attach with your work. Krishna gives so many instructions, and Krishna also said that you just abandon all types of religion and surrender onto me. So Krishna is giving so many instructions and asking us to surrender. But what does Mahaprabhu does? He just gives. He's not asking for even for surrender. Someone, even this is why we says that when we go for Harinam, if someone is just by mistake, even just in the fun, making fun of the devotees, saying Hare Krishna, they will be purified and they will get benefit of it. So Mahaprabhu is saying that just take the holy name of the Lord, and you will get it. You will get the mercy. And this is why I have seen many times. I'm not sure if you have had that experience or not. I've seen many times that devotees somehow or other, if they are connected to movement, if they have chanted the holy name, Maha Mantra, sometime later they will somehow or other, they will get connected to the holy name. They will start chanting. I've seen many devotees, they stop, they goes, they come back, they goes and come back, but they don't stop chanting. So Krishna doesn't leave them. So this is the mercy of this moment that Lord Chaitanya has given, that this is very special, very very special, that Krishna becomes attracted, and because he is Krishna and Shri Radhika together, he is very compassionate and merciful. So even if devotees want to chant and then they want to stop and then they chant, they stop, even there the sadhana is not fixed, they are not fixed up with their services, their mind is here and there everywhere, and they are very chanchal. Their mind is not fixed. Even at that state of, even Mahaprabhu is very kind and he support, he helps, and he picks up the fallen souls. So we wanted to understand some of the pastimes of the Lord, when Lord um, exhibited the qualities what Krishna is also looking from us, and because Mahaprabhu came as devotee, he exhibited that how devotee should be, how we all should behave, and what our behavior should be like, so to become a devotee of the Lord. So one of the first thing what I thought of, and this is really, I'm not prepared for this class, but this is few things I came to know today morning, that today is God Purnima in India. So I thought it'd be nice to speak about Mahaprabhu. So one of the quality what I understood is renunciation. So, in very young age, Mahaprabhu left his beautiful wife and his mother for the betterment of the world, betterment of the people in general, to give them the holy name, to spread the holy name, to give them the brush prem. So, the renunciation was one of the quality. And then compassion. He had so much compassion for others. He delivered Jagai Madhai. Even he delivered the Shivnanda Sena's dog, and in many places, in many pastimes of Mahaprabhu, we see the compassion, how he felt um, sad about people. One of his servant, who Gopala, who got stuck with the in the wrong hands, and how Mahaprabhu pulled his hair and brought him. So many times, Prabhupada, sorry, Mahaprabhu has shown his compassion to people around him. And one of the scene, when we saw that one of the old woman who was standing in Jagannath Puri, and near to the stump, and was trying to take the darshan of the Lord, and she eventually she couldn't take the darshan, because she must be small, so she stood on the shoulder of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu's personal servant asked that, no, 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 you should not touch, she should not climb on Mahaprabhu's shoulder. And Mahaprabhu said that, see the eagerness of her to see the Lord. And he was even in his humility, he was saying that, I wish I had that eagerness to see the Lord. So he had compassion, and he gave his shoulder to this old woman, to take the darshan of Jagannath. Then humility. So this is my, really always been very, very touching pastimes of Mahaprabhu. Uh, when he sits at the not a very clean place at Prakashananda Saraswati in Varanasi, Saraswati is a place where they all gathered, and and this was in Varanasi. This pastime happened, and there were many Mayavadis got collected. They were there, and they were all thinking that what this sannyasi is. He always sing and dance. He should learn the Vedas. He should listen to the he should learn the Vedanta. And at that time, Mahaprabhu sat at this place and tells that my spiritual master had told me that I am very foolish and I should just chant the holy name of the Lord. And that pastime shows his humility, and the effulgence coming from his body has shows that has shown to Brahmananda Saraswati, Prakashananda Saraswati, that how elevated personality he was. And then eventually he has understood that he was the supreme personality of God, and he was Krishna himself. But at that very moment, if you just imagine that, because of the humility of Mahaprabhu, he has turned so many Mayavadis in Varanasi to Vaishnavas. And this is the exhibition for us actually, that how Lord's devotee should be so humble, so humble. And Lord himself, imagine Lord is himself coming down and showing us how we should behave. And then another pastimes happened at the time when Keshav Kashmiri tried to defeat Mahaprabhu, and with his poetry and with his knowledge of the grammar and everything. And then he sang so many verses on to glorify Mother Ganga. And it happens that at the end, when he speaks more, Mahaprabhu asks him some clarification of the few verses. And then when it happens, Mahaprabhu, find out some of the doshas, some of the issues with those verses, and he couldn't clarify those, he couldn't answer those points which were raised by Mahaprabhu. And then he was defeated at that time. He went back home, and then when he slept, he got a dream from Mother Saraswati telling that you're trying to defeat my master. So Mother Saraswati was saying that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the cause of all causes. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is Krishna himself. And then Keshav Kashmiri understood the position of the Lord. And then we should understand his knowledge. If you read CC, there are so many discussions with Ramananda Roy, with Rupa Goswami, with Sarup Damodar, with Sarbhuma Bhattacharya, and even with Keshav Kashmiri, Prakashananda Saraswati. So many places Lord has shown his knowledge in complete, that, and it's not at the surface level. Krishna, not, he is not giving philosophy, he is giving the pure nectar. Especially with his discussions with Ramananda Rai, the nectar is flowing. He's giving so much brush prem through those, through those verses. So he has tried to give whatever he had, he wanted to give, basically. Then comes his loving relationship with his devotees. So loving relationship, mainly we see that with his pastime with Jagannatha Swami Pandit, how they, even Mahaprabhu used to get scared from him. Sometimes the exchanges between both of them were very sweet. And mainly also with Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur, how we have, heard so many times from Maharaj as well, that how in the later stages of Haridas Thakur, how Mahaprabhu looked after him, how he performed his last ceremony, and how he told everyone to have a big festival of the departure of Haridas Thakur. And many places, Mahaprabhu has shown his very sweet, loving relationship with devotees, even Damayanti, with his servant Gopal, with his servant Sarup Damodar, and many other devotees. In CC, if you read that, it's been explained that Mahaprabhu was very sweet, and sweet with everyone. And one thing what Lord has shown to us is is his uh, his um, symptoms of the love, symptoms of the pure love, symptoms of a Mahabhav, what Radharani has experienced. And if you see the later Anta Leela of the Mahaprabhu, it says so many times about how Lord was completely inundated with the love of the Lord. He was in the mood of Radharani, and he was feeling so much separation that he would rub his face to the walls. See, the blood will come out, and he would run to the sea, thinking of that as Yamuna, and he would run to the Jagannath temple. He would fall down. He would faint there, the separation of the Lord. So this symptom shows that how much love it was difficult to come out, like difficult to control for his personal servants to manage him. So Ramananda Rai and Sarup Damodar were his personal servants, who were none other than Lalita and Vishakha, in his pastimes in Braj. And they were used to sing so many beautiful bhajans, and which Mahaprabhu used to hear mainly from Bimangal Thakur. And Gita Govind, we all have heard by Jadev Goswami. So all these sweet bhajans and prayers was sang by Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai for the pleasure of Mahaprabhu. So this is why actually for us, uh, it's not possible. Not possible, I shouldn't say, but it's very difficult to come to that state of feeling that intense separation from the Lord. However, if we try our best, if we have a desire that Lord, we want to feel the separation from you, and then it would happen. So we have to reach to that ultimate state that when we're leaving this body, we should not think of anyone except the Lord. So this whole life is for us to not to enjoy, not to learn how to live, but to prepare ourselves how to die. And what we need to learn to die, what we need to think at the time is the separation from the Lord. That Lord, we want to come back to you, we want to see you, we want to spend time with you. And this is why the whole journey of Mahaprabhu, from his birth to the Antalila, to the end of his pastimes, he has exhibited the most beautiful, the sweetest, and charming pastimes of a devotee that can happen, and that should happen. The qualities of a devotee and how a devotee should feel separation from the Lord. And definitely we are not going to reach to the stage of Mahaprabhu, but we should have at least some sort of separation. And when we feel that separation, then we will think that this world is not made for us to enjoy. This creation has been done for us to go back, so that we can attain the Lord. Ultimately we can reach the Bhagavad Dham. So I'll stop here. I think I have bluff enough. enough. But it will be nice to hear from all of you if you have any comments, realization on this particular verse, or on Mahaprabhu's pastimes. Actually, it will be really nice to hear about any pastimes from Mahaprabhu which is very close to your heart and which has inspired you. Anything. Over to all of you. Okay, I think everyone is fall asleep. Hari bol.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna Mataji. My Danvat Pranam. My Danvat Pranam to you. Sorry, it's my this time is so it's a duty with my mother and Bhoga and everything. So I'm sorry, but I'm listening. I'm on listening, and amazing knowledge. And I'm just thinking how Dham Prabhu is so lucky to have you.
I was hoping for a realization
Yes,
from
you because even if you don't want to hear the praise and but you have that eagerness and you to learn and know more. And I think most good quality you have is that you want everybody to know what you know, and you want everybody to enjoy all this pastime. You want everybody to enjoy the being in the Krishna consciousness, and take all the nectar that like yourself, senior devotees, and Guru Maharaj and everybody else who are spreading. And we are, as you say, we are so lucky that Prabhupada has done such a hard work, and we just got so easy. We have very easy work. Actually, we don't have to do a lot of work because he's done everything for us. All we have to do is open the books. All we have to do is open our mind and our heart and spread what we know, and then learn as much as we can. And what I really like in your last conversation is what you said, that we have to learn how to, when we're going to die, how we're going to do that, not how we are living. And devotees or normal people or anyone, they wouldn't think like this unless they know from scriptures, or unless they read or hear. Normal mind or reading any other books of mentoring or this or the, anything spirituality will not teach you this. Only the Bhagavatam, only our Vedas and our Shastras are teaching us. And obviously, I'm not a very good, I'm very slow reader, and I have to keep going back into dictionary to understand from the English as well, to make sense. So now I started reading everything. I got a Bhagavad Gita in Gujarati as well, and I enjoyed so much now because I get everything. And
Yes.
I so much enjoyed. And I'm going to join a Shilpan Shah Prabhu's class. I think he's got a Gujarati Bhagavatam class. So I need to, because can I have his number? Because I think Srimati Mataji gave me the number, but it was here on the class and I missed it.
Oh,
So,
okay. I'll ask her. I don't have the number, but we can ask her on the chat.
Okay. So I just want to say thank you, Mataji. Really enjoying. Thank you so much. Thank you for being in our lives to spread this.
I'm not doing anything.
No, I'm very in debt for you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Anything else from anyone?
Hare Krishna, Satyabhama Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Jai.
Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj. Thank you. It was an absolutely wonderful class. And I really liked the chart you made, showing all the, plenary expansions of Krishna, because that's always confusing and difficult to understand.
Yeah.
And, you really explained this verse really well about Karana Daksha Vishnu. He's the one who, I think he breathes and it's through his pores.
That all the universes comes out.
Yeah. So it's always confusing, these aspects, even though I've heard it so many times.
Yeah.
We forget, but you explained it really, really well, really simply.
Oh.
And also the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it's very inspiring.
Oh, thank you.
And thank you. And it's funny because on mentorship, Leela Shakti Mataji mentioned that as well. We're not here to live, but how to leave. That's what we need to learn.
Learn to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not to live, but to leave. It's really reminded me of that. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Jai, thank you. Okay, then I think if there are no other questions, then we can maybe close the call. Please stay connected with the Mahaprabhu's mission. That's all it is. To leave all.
I think Trupti Mataji, I think she's asking for my number. Is that correct?
Shilpan Prabhu, do you know if someone is giving Gujarati Srimad Bhagavatam class?
Yeah, we give classes every week in Gujarati, Leela Shakti Mataji, and we have devotees from Nairobi Temple.
Oh, okay.
Also, we have 3 classes a week in Gujarati. So if you can pass Trupti Mataji my number.
Okay, I will do that.
Give me Trupti Mataji's number, then I'll add that to our WhatsApp group.
I'll do that, yeah. I'll share your number.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Ancha kalpatarubhya.